This video is about Gilgamesh journeys through desert until monster attacks. If this myth excites you, please like the video, share it with friends, and write in the comments how it pulls you into the adventure. Under the watchful gaze of the twin suns, the vast expanse of the great desert shimmered like molten gold. It was a cruel land, where scorching winds howled like banshees and the ground cracked like ancient bones, the remnants of a world forgotten. Among the shifting dunes, a figure moved with purpose, his silhouette daunting against the horizon. This was Gilgamesh, the mighty king of Uruk, a man forged in the fires of ambition and tempered by the weight of destiny. Haunted by dreams that echoed with the cries of the past, Gilgamesh had set forth on a perilous journey, seeking wisdom in the realm of the gods. The elders of Uruk whispered of a celestial oasis, a place where ancient secrets could be unveiled and the path to immortality could be discerned. But the great desert was unforgiving, and the king was neither god nor a mere mortal. He was a titan caught between two worlds. As he trudged through the ever-shifting sands, memories of his friend Enkidu surged like the tide. The bond they shared had been forged in battle, tempered by mutual respect and shattered by the cruel hands of fate. The gods had punished them for their defiance, and Enkidu had fallen, swallowed by the earth. Gilgamesh's heart ached with the weight of his loss, spurring him onward through the desolation. Enkidu, he whispered, his voice barely audible against the gusts of wind. I seek to defy the very fate that took you from me. I shall find the secret of eternal life, and I will not let your memory fade. Days turned into nights, and the sun's relentless rays bore down upon him, each step becoming a battle against exhaustion. His throat parched, Gilgamesh stumbled upon a rare patch of shade. Here, gnarled trees whispered ancient secrets, their roots reaching deep into the earth. As he knelt to drink from a hidden spring, visions flooded his mind, glimmers of the divine. The goddess Ishtar appeared before him, her beauty radiant yet terrifying. Gilgamesh, she intoned, her voice echoing like thunder. What seeks the king of Uruk in the realm of dust and despair? I seek knowledge and the key to life beyond the grave, he replied, his heart pounding. I will face the trials of the gods to reclaim what was lost. Her laughter rang like a chime, sweet yet foreboding. Many have sought what you seek, and many have perished. The desert is a sanctuary for the lost and the damned. Tread carefully, for darkness lurks beneath the sands. With her words echoing in his mind, Gilgamesh pressed onward, feeling the weight of fate press down upon him. Night fell, and the stars emerged, twinkling like the eyes of sleeping giants. The desert transformed into a landscape of shadows, and he could feel an unseen presence watching him. Suddenly, a chill swept through the air, and the ground trembled as if awakening from a long slumber. Gilgamesh's instincts flared. He reached for his sword, the blade gleaming in the moonlight. Panic surged through his veins. Something was coming. From the depths of the dunes, a monstrous figure erupted, an amalgamation of nightmares. The creature was massive, its scales glimmering like obsidian, eyes like molten gold burning with rage. It had the body of a great serpent and the claws of a lion, an embodiment of chaos unleashed. Foolish king, it hissed, its voice a rumble of thunder. You tread the sands of my domain. Here, none shall pass without paying the price. Gilgamesh clenched his jaw, heart racing as he sized up the creature. I am Gilgamesh, ruler of Uruk. I do not fear you, beast. With a roar that sent ripples through the night, the creature lunged, jaws snapping like of ice. Gilgamesh rolled to the side, narrowly escaping the razor-sharp teeth that could have cleaved him in two. He sprang to his feet, adrenaline coursing through him. By the blood of Enkidu, he shouted, adrenaline surging, I shall not fall here. Drawing his sword, he faced the monster, the blade glimmering like a beacon of hope. As he lunged forward, the beast swung its massive tail, striking the ground with a force that raised a cloud of sand. Gilgamesh stumbled but regained his footing, determination fueling him. With ferocity, he struck at the creature's exposed flank. The blade sunk deep into its scales, eliciting a roar of pain and fury. The monster recoiled, eyes narrowing in rage. You dare wound me, human? I will feast on your bones. Not if I can help it. Gilgamesh gritted through clenched teeth, charging again. He dodged another swing of its tail and thrust his sword once more, aiming for the creature's heart. But the beast was cunning. With a swift movement, it twisted its body, sending Gilgamesh crashing to the sand. Breathless, he gasped for air, feeling the weight of the desert pressing down upon him. As the monster loomed closer, shadows danced around him, and the desert seemed to fade. In that instant, he could almost hear Enkidu's voice, urging him to rise. Fight, my brother, the world needs your strength. Summoning every ounce of will, Gilgamesh regained his footing, their shared bond igniting the fire within him. For you, Enkidu, he roared, charging at the beast with renewed vigor. clash of metal against scales echoed like a war drum. With each strike, he felt the weight of destiny on his shoulders, the legacy of his fallen friend propelling him. The creature retaliated, slashing at Gilgamesh with claws that could shed mountains, but each time he dodged, weaving through the chaos. As the battle raged, the sands beneath them began to shift violently, stirred by the ferocious struggle. With a final roar, Gilgamesh leaped onto the creature's back, driving his sword deep into the scaled flesh. The monster howled, thrashing violently, but his grip held firm. "By the gods of Uruk, I will not yield," Gilgamesh cried, channeling every bit of strength into his strike. With one final thrust, he pierced the heart of the beast. The creature let out a roar that echoed through the night, a sound of both fury and despair, before collapsing into the sands with a thunderous crash. Victory, however hard-won, was bittersweet. As the dust settled, Gilgamesh stood amidst the remnants of battle, breathing heavily, the weight of his destiny heavier than ever. "Ishtar," he called to the heavens, his voice raw with emotion. "I have faced the monster, but what do I do with this victory? The desert is still vast, and my journey is far from over." As if in answer, the wind stirred, wrapping around him like a shroud. In the distance, the horizon shimmered, a mirage, or perhaps a promise of the trials yet to come. Gilgamesh was no longer just a king. He was a harbinger of fate, a seeker of truths buried beneath the sands of time. With the haunting cry of the creature still echoing in his mind, he turned towards the unknown, prepared to face whatever lay ahead. For deep within him, the fire of perseverance burned brighter than the suns above, illuminating the path to his destiny. Thus began the tale of Gilgamesh, the king who dared to defy the gods and conquer the terrors of the earth, a journey woven with blood, honor, and the undying spirit of a hero. The desert stretched before Gilgamesh, a vast ocean of golden sands glinting under the twin suns. Beneath the weight of his victory, the king pondered the price of glory. He had conquered the beast, but he felt the shadows of fate lurking at the edge of his triumph. As he started walking again, the air around him shimmered, and echoes of the past whispered through the dunes. Each grain of sand seemed to hold the stories of ancient heroes, lost in time, their destinies intertwined with his own. He could almost hear the memories of the gods, weaving a tapestry of fate that he was unwilling to accept. "Ishtar, you spoke of trials. What must I face next?" He called into the empty expanse, his voice defiant yet tinged with uncertainty. A breeze swirled around him, carrying the scent of myrrh and jasmine, a reminder of Ishtar's presence. "The path of a hero is fraught with peril, Gilgamesh," her voice echoed, soft yet commanding. "You will face more than monsters. Your true battle lies within." As he walked, shadows danced on the periphery of his vision, and the heat of the sun bore down upon him like a forge. He could feel the desert-esque grip tightening, testing his resolve. But he was Gilgamesh, a king who had battled the gods and emerged victorious. He would not falter now. Days turned into an endless cycle of light and darkness, the burning sun giving way to chilling nights. Gilgamesh's thirst matched his ambition, each drop of water a precious treasure. Yet he pressed on, the memory of Enkidu spurring him forward, their shared laughter echoing in his mind. One evening, as twilight bathed the world in hues of purple and crimson, he stumbled upon an ancient ruin half buried in the sands. Crumbling stone pillars rose like sentinels from the desert floor, carved with symbols of forgotten gods. "What secrets do you hold?" he wondered aloud, approaching the crumbling facade. As he touched the withered stone, a surge of energy coursed through him, merging his essence with the history embedded within the walls. A voice, ethereal and powerful, resonated through the ruins. "Gilgamesh, son of the gods, you seek that which is eternal, but first, you must confront the guardian of the sand." With a shudder, the earth trembled beneath his feet, and the ruins began to shift. From the ground erupted an enormous figure, a ghostly warrior draped in the tattered remnants of once glorious armor. His face was hidden behind a helm that shimmered like starlight. "I am the guardian, bound to this place until the fated one arrives," the spectre declared, his voice a melody of sorrow and strength. "You seek knowledge, but knowledge comes at a price." "I will pay whatever is necessary," Gilgamesh replied, his heart racing. "What must I do?" "Prove your worth in combat," the guardian commanded. "Defeat me in battle, and the secrets of the desert shall be yours." Gilgamesh's pulse quickened. He had just emerged victorious against a monstrous beast, but this was different. The guardian was a spirit of ancient power, wielding the might of countless warriors. "Then let our duel begin." As the sands shifted around them, Gilgamesh drew his sword, the blade glistening with the light of the twin suns. The guardian unsheathed a long, ethereal sword, its blade shimmering like moonlight. They circled each other, the tension palpable, and then with a roar, they clashed. The sound of the swords echoed through the desert, a symphony of myth and magic. Gilgamesh fought with all his might, drawing on the strength of Enkidu and the countless warriors who had come before him. Each strike resonated with purpose, each parry a testament to his resolve. The Guardian moved with an otherworldly grace, his strikes precise and relentless. Gilgamesh felt the sting of exhaustion creeping in, but he would not yield. "You are strong, Guardian, but I am the king of Uruk. I have faced death and emerged, and I shall not fall to you." The Guardian's golden eyes flickered with a hint of respect. "You possess the spirit of a warrior, but to conquer your fears, you must face the darkness within." With newfound determination, Gilgamesh launched himself forward, feigning a strike to the left before pivoting and delivering a powerful blow aimed at the Guardian's unguarded side. The spirit staggered, a flicker of surprise passing through his eyes. "Focus, Gilgamesh," he urged, his voice echoing with ancient wisdom. "Channel your pain, your loss, use it as a weapon." Gilgamesh felt a surge of energy ignite within him, remembering Enkidu's laughter, the bond they had forged through trials and triumphs. With each strike, he fought not just for himself but for the brotherhood they had shared. He danced through the motions, each movement embodying the spirit of their adventures. "Enkidu," he whispered as he swung low, "this is for you." A final, thunderous clamor. Gilgamesh drove his sword into the Guardian's chest, a brilliant burst of light erupted as it struck home. The spirit staggered, a look of admiration etched upon his ethereal face. "You have proven your worth, Gilgamesh," the Guardian rasped, his voice filled with reverence. "You carry the weight of your destiny with honor, and the secrets of the desert shall be revealed to you." As the Guardian's form began to dissolve into shimmering stardust, he spoke one last time, "Seek the oasis of eternity, where waters flow with the essence of life itself, but beware the trials of the heart, for the greatest battles lie within." The desert around Gilgamesh transformed, the winds calming, the sun painting the horizon with a brilliant glow. He stood amidst the ruins, panting, victorious yet burdened by the Guardian's words. "Trials of the heart," he murmured, feeling the gravity of the spectre's warning. Would the quest for immortality demand more than he had already sacrificed? Would it unravel him? With the ruins fading behind him, he set his sights towards the shimmering horizon. The oasis of eternity awaited, a beacon of hope intertwined with the spectre's prophecy. Each step he took was both a march towards destiny and a confrontation with the ghosts of his past. As Gilgamesh ventured forth, the air crackled with anticipation. The sands whispered warnings and promises, a reminder that the journey is as formidable as the destination. In the distance, the oasis shimmered, a mirage of temptation and peril. But the king of Uruk was resolute. He would face whatever awaited him, whether monsters or memories, for he carried the spirit of Enkidu within him, igniting an unwavering fire to defy the gods and claim his destiny. The oasis loomed closer, and for Gilgamesh, it was more than just a quest for eternal life. It was a testament to the legacy of love, loss, and the unyielding strength of the human spirit. With every step, he embraced the trials ahead, ready to confront the shadows that lay ahead, for he was a king, and the world would know his name, echoing through the ages in songs of valor and sacrifice. And so, with the twin suns burning bright, Gilgamesh marched toward the heart of the desert, the trials of faith and the promise of immortality awaiting him, a saga that would be told for generations to come. As Gilgamesh pressed onward, the golden sands began to shimmer with greater intensity, swirling around him like shimmering dust motes. The air was thick with anticipation. Something was stirring within the great desert, and he could feel it in his bones. With every step, whispers of destiny wrapped around him, urging him forward toward the oasis of eternity. The oasis, a legendary promise of life beyond death, lay shrouded in mist, beckoning as a siren does to a sailor lost at sea. Yet, he felt the presence of the gods watching, their eyes heavy with judgment. What sacrifices must be made for wisdom, he pondered, the weight of Enkidu's memory settling on his shoulders like a shroud. Suddenly, the ground trembled beneath his feet once more, and the gentle breeze transformed into a raging whirlwind, lifting grains of sand into a frenzied dance. Gilgamesh steadied himself, gripping the hilt of his sword, searching the horizon for the source of the disturbance. "Show yourself," he called, his voice carrying over the howling winds. The desert responded with an eerie silence, the tempest pausing as if holding its breath. A shiver ran down his spine. He was not alone. From the depths of swirling sand emerged a colossal figure cloaked in shadows, its form shifting like mist. As the winds subsided, the figure solidified into a grace-filled silhouetted goddess of war, fierce and indomitable. Her armor shimmered with celestial light, adorned with symbols of power and might. She wielded a spear that glimmered with the essence of stars. "Who dares approach the oasis of eternity?" she demanded, her voice a chorus of thunder and fury. Only the worthy may seek its secrets, and many have perished trying. I am Gilgamesh, king of Uruk, and I seek the eternal truths of life and death, he declared, standing tall before her, despite the dread creeping into his heart. I have vanquished beasts and faced the guardian of the sands. I will not be deterred. The goddess narrowed her eyes, studying him, weighing his resolve. He radiates strength, but strength alone does not win battles. Your heart carries the weight of loss, she said, and her tone softened for just a moment. What will you sacrifice for knowledge? What do you value most? Gilgamesh's voice faltered for an instant, memories of Enkidu flooding back his laughter, their shared dreams, the bond that had transcended life and death. I have already lost my brother, he replied, a tremor in his voice. What more can the gods take from me? Your heart is a battlefield, the goddess replied, her voice echoing with ancient wisdom. Face the trials of the heart, Gilgamesh, and only then shall the oasis reveal its secrets. Before he could respond, the goddess waved her hand, and the sands beneath him shifted violently. He felt the ground give way, and suddenly he was falling down into the depths of the earth, swallowed by darkness. He landed with a thud in an underground chamber, the air heavy with warmth and a strange, sweet aroma. As he regained his bearings, flickering torches illuminated the space, revealing walls adorned with murals depicting great battles between gods and men. Welcome to the Hall of Reflections, a voice resonated, smooth as silk and as sharp as a blade. From the shadows emerged a figure draped in a flowing robe of twilight, his face obscured by a mask of shimmering stars. I am the keeper of memories, tasked with revealing the truths that dwell within your heart. What do you want from me? Gilgamesh snapped, irritation flaring as he felt the weight of fate pressing down on him anew. You confront your past, the keeper intoned, gesturing to the murals. You will witness the moments that shaped your destiny, and only through acceptance can you secure your future. Gilgamesh hesitated but felt an unstoppable pull toward the mural depicting his greatest triumph and profound tragedy, his battle with Humbaba, the guardian of the cedar forest. The scene came alive before him. He could hear the clash of swords and the anguished cries of his enemies. With a sudden jolt, he was drawn into the memory, witnessing the battle firsthand. The air buzzed with electric energy, and he fought alongside Enkidu, their blades dancing with a fierce synchronicity against the monstrous guardian. But in a flash, the memory shifted to the joyful camaraderie turned to horror as he watched Enkidu fall, a fatal blow delivered by the vengeful spirit of the forest. "Math?" Gilgamesh shouted, his voice echoing through the chamber. "I could have saved you." "Could you?" The keeper challenged, his voice like distant thunder. "In your hunger for glory, you ignored the warnings, you sought power without regard for the cost." Gilgamesh turned away, rage boiling within him. "I did what I thought was right, I sought to protect my people." "But at what price?" the keeper pressed. "Can you bear to face the truth of your actions?" Pain surged through his chest, and he fell to his knees, grappling with the weight of his guilt. "I never wanted this, I never wished to lose him." "But then rise and honor his memory," the keeper urged, extending a hand. "Transform your sorrow into strength, accept your past, forge your path forward." With a keening cry, Gilgamesh rose, embracing the pain rather than shunning it. "Enkidu, my brother, I carry your spirit with me always," he declared, tears stinging his eyes. As he spoke, the murals shimmered and transformed, revealing a new senior vision of the oasis. The keeper's voice echoed through the chamber. "You have begun to confront your heart. Now, face the second trial." The chamber shifted again, and he found himself standing in a vast, dark void, surrounded by shadows that whispered secrets and lies. Each shadow morphed into a figure: his father, his mother, the elders of Uruk, and even Enkidu, each bearing expressions of disappointment and sorrow. "You are destined to fall," hissed one shadow, its voice a chilling breeze. "You cannot escape your fate." Gilgamesh clenched his fists. "I will not be cowed by your lies," he roared, but doubt crept into his heart like a venomous serpent. "Your arrogance will lead to ruin," another shadow hissed, its form shifting to reflect the serpent that had attacked him in the desert. "You are destined to lose everything you hold dear." "No!" Gilgamesh shouted, tears blurring his vision. "I will not let this be my fate." In that moment, a light flickered in the depths of despair, and the shadows recoiled, whispering and writhing as if struck by a sudden gale. A voice, soft but fierce, broke through the din. "Remember who you are, Gilgamesh. You are a king, a warrior, a friend. Your power lies not just in strength but in love, honor, and the bonds you forge." With a renewed sense of purpose, Gilgamesh shouted into the void, "I am Gilgamesh, king of Uruk. I will face my fears, not flee from them." The shadows shrieked in anguish, dissolving into darkness, leaving him standing alone in a radiant light. He felt the warmth of the sun on his skin, and the oppressive weight of doubt lifted. Your heart has prevailed, the Keeper's voice echoed as the chamber transformed once more, revealing the shimmering oasis. You have passed the trials, now the wisdom you seek shall be yours, but remember, truth is a double-edged sword, wield it wisely. As Gilgamesh stepped toward the shimmering waters, he could see reflections of his past, present, and future ripple across the surface, moments of joy, pain, love, and loss. He knelt, cupping his hands to drink from the waters, feeling the essence of life surging through him. Suddenly, the air crackled with energy, and the waters frothed violently. From the depths emerged the goddess once more, her presence radiant and commanding. You have triumphed over your hardest trials, Gilgamesh, but heed my warning, immortality is not what you envision, it carries a heavy burden. I understand, Gilgamesh replied, his heart steady. I do not seek eternal life for myself, but to honor those I have lost and protect my people. The goddess nodded, a hint of approval shining in her eyes. Then carry this truth with you, immortality lies not in the flesh, but in the stories we leave behind. As the light enveloped him, Gilgamesh felt the essence of the oasis merging with his spirit. He understood now that life's true value was found in the connections forged and the legacy left for others. With newfound wisdom, he stood at the brink of the oasis, ready to embrace his destiny. Yet the winds of fate were never still, and even as he turned to leave, the ground trembled once more. Something ancient had stirred from its slumber, drawn by the power of the oasis. A colossal shadow loomed on the horizon, a monstrous figure racing toward him, its roar rattling the very air. A creature born of darkness and fury, wings unfurling like storm clouds, a dragon of legend, fierce and primordial. As the winds howled like vengeful spirits, Gilgamesh turned to face the horizon, where the colossal shadow loomed, dwarfing the dunes with its immense size. The dragon's wings unfurl, blotting out the twin suns, casting the desert into darkness. Its scales shimmered like obsidian, reflecting glimmers of light, and its eyes glowed with a malevolence that spoke of ancient wrath. Fate is a cruel mistress, he muttered under his breath, gripping the hilt of his sword, a flicker of fear igniting within him. This was no ordinary beast, it was a creature of legend, a guardian of forgotten realms. The winds carried its roar like a thunderclap, shaking the heavens themselves. Foolish king, you dare to disturb the oasis of eternity? The dragon bellowed, its voice echoing like a storm. Only dust and despair await you here. Gilgamesh stood firm, his heart thundering in rhythm with the beast's furious growl. I am Gilgamesh, king of Uruk. I have faced death itself and emerged victorious. I will not cower before you. The dragoness laughter was a low rumble, rich with contempt. You think yourself a hero, yet you are but a man. Your victories are but fleeting sparks in the vastness of eternity. I will extinguish your light. With a roar that shook the very ground beneath Gilgamesh's feet, the dragon lunged, its powerful body sweeping across the sands. In a flash, the king rolled to the side, narrowly avoiding the crushing weight of the beast. He sprang to his feet, sword raised, determination coursing through his veins like wildfire. Your arrogance blinds you, Gilgamesh shouted, launching himself at the dragon, aiming for the exposed underbelly. The blade glinted in the light as he struck, but the dragon's scales were tougher than iron, absorbing the blow like a tempest weathering the sea. It twisted in the air, snapping its jaws at him, teeth like daggers glinting with poison. Fool, the dragon hissed, fury igniting its eyes. I will feast on your spirit. Gilgamesh danced backward, evading the creature's snapping jaws. You underestimate the will of a king, he roared, his voice echoing across the barren land, a call to the spirits of warriors past. Channeling the strength of Enkidu, he charged again, weaving through the dragon's colossal wings, searching for a vulnerable point. The dragon let out a blast of fire, a conflagration that lit the night like 1,000 suns. The heat scorched the air, and Gilgamesh dove to the side, rolling in the sand to extinguish the flames, licking at his cloak. Is this all you have? He taunted, panting, adrenaline surging through him. You are nothing but a shadow of the ancient gods. The dragon's growl deepened, its eyes narrowing with fury. Then let us unleash the tempest. With that, it took to the skies, its wings unfurling wide, casting a pitch-black shadow over the desert. Gilgamesh shielded his eyes, feeling the earth tremble as the dragon soared higher, then dove down with the fury of a meteor. He braced himself, narrowing his focus, waiting for the precise moment to strike. As the beast plummeted, he could sense a whisper of fate coiling around him, urging him to take his stand. With a primal roar, the dragon struck the sand, sending waves of dust and debris flying. Gilgamesh leaped to the side as the impact reverberated through him, a shockwave of power. He steadied himself, his sword at the ready. I will not yield, he shouted, charging forward as the dragon rose from the crater it had created. Its eyes glimmered with the fury of 1,000 storms, the wind swelling in response to its rage. Your defense is futile, the dragon screeched, lunging again, claws extended, sharp enough to rend the fabric of existence. Gilgamesh ducked and rolled, narrowly escaping the deadly grasp. Fumbling on the sand, he drew upon the strength of the spirit surrounding him, envisioning Enkidu's encouraging smile glowing in the depths of his mind. "I will not let your memory be swallowed by this monstrosity," he shouted, feeling strength surge from the bond they shared. The dragon circled overhead, its shadow dancing ominously across the landscape. "You cling to the memories of the dead, but they will not save you," it mocked, breathing fire into the air, igniting the very sand into a storm of molten fury. "Perhaps not," Gilgamesh shouted back, rising to his feet with renewed vigor, "but they give me power." He pivoted, swinging his sword with ferocity, aiming for the dragon's tail as it arched back to strike. The blade connected, slicing through thick scales. The beast howled in agony, twisting in pain. The sound echoed through the desert, and Gilgamesh felt a moment of triumph. "Now you know my strength," he bellowed, the roar of victory coursing through him. Yet, he knew the battle was far from over. The dragon reared back, its form shuddering as it replenished its energy, a dark glow enveloping it. "You may have wounded me, but I am born of darkness and despair. I shall rise again." With a deafening roar, it unleashed another torrent of flames, a wave of heat and destruction crashing toward Gilgamesh. He raised his sword, bracing against the heat, memories of his past fueling his courage. Suddenly, the wind shifted, carrying a voice like thunder. "Gilgamesh, remember your purpose." It was Ishtar, her presence felt even in the fury of the storm. "Face the heart of the beast, strike true." Gilgamesh felt a surge of determination, remembering the trials he had faced at the Guardian, the Keeper, the truth he had embraced. "For Yurk," he shouted, charging forward once more, fueled by the memories of love and sacrifice. He leaped, aiming directly for the dragon's heart as it momentarily faltered. "No," the dragon roared, sensing the impending strike. But it was too late. With a fierce cry, Gilgamesh plunged his sword deep into the creature's chest, feeling the heat radiate against his skin. A blinding flash erupted as the blade found its mark, piercing the darkness that enveloped the beast. The dragon's roar transformed into a chorus of anguished cries, reverberating like thunder through the valley. As the light engulfed them both, Gilgamesh felt the weight of eternity settle over him, wrapping him in warmth. The dragon's form began to dissipate, a cloud of ash and smoke filling the air as it writhed in its final moments. "You fool," it gasped. "You've sealed your own fate." But Gilgamesh stood resolute, his heart steady. "I have chosen my path. I will honor the memory of those I have lost and carry their strength with me." With one last, triumphant cry, the dragon disintegrated into a shower of stardust, raining down across the desert in a brilliant cascade. The winds calmed, and the sun broke through the clouds, illuminating the sands with golden light. Gilgamesh fell to his knees, panting, the echoes of battle fading into silence. He grasped his sword, feeling the warmth of victory coursing through him, but also the weight of his journey. The essence of the oasis shimmered nearby, the waters still beckoning, filled with the promise of eternal knowledge. The goddess Ishtar emerged from the light, her eyes filled with admiration. "You have triumphed, Gilgamesh. You have faced the dragon of despair and emerged victorious." He looked up, feeling both the weight of his victory and the burden of what lay ahead. "Ishtar, what shall become of me now?" "There will always be trials," she replied. "But you have learned to confront your heart. The true essence of life lies not in immortality, but in the legacy you leave behind." Nodding slowly, Gilgamesh stood tall, feeling the fire of determination within him. "But then I shall not seek everlasting life for myself, but I will live for my people and honor the memories of those I have lost." With a wave of her hand, Ishtar opened the path to the oasis, the waters shimmering in response. "Drink, brave king, and let the wisdom of the ages flow into your heart. The stories you forge shall weave the fabric of history, echoing through time." As Gilgamesh stepped to the edge of the oasis, he knelt and cupped his hands, the waters shimmering with promise. He drank deeply, feeling the essence of eternity course through him, a connection to the past, a promise for the future. Suddenly, visions flooded his mind. The laughter of Enkidu, the cheers of his people, the sacrifices made in the name of love and honor. Each moment felt like a tapestry, weaving together the lives of countless heroes who had come before him. As he rose, Gilgamesh felt transformed, not by the promise of eternal life, but by the realization that he was part of something greater, a continuum of stories waiting to be told. "I shall return to Uruk," he declared, his voice carrying across the vast expanse of the desert.